Hey guys, Nathan Brandon Masters. I was going to put this video on my main channel, but I kind of thought about it and said, this video belongs right here because it's talking about horror. You guys know I have a horror comic on Kickstarter, Curse Risen, Ultimate Control, written and drawn by me, and this is some of the art from it right here. But let's jump into this video. This is In Praise of Shadows. For this, I'll call him Shadow Praise, so I won't have to keep saying his whole name. He's a breadtuber culture critic, and like Wendigoon, he specializes in horror. For those who don't know, Wendigoon is another culture critic who also specializes in horror and tends to be apolitical. If you like my comics or horror films, you'll probably like his channel. And if you don't know about it, go check him out. I'll put a link in the description, but our guy Shadow Praise seems to believe that the only people who should be viewing horror, enjoying horror, or speaking on horror are people who are far left lunatics. I don't have any real problem with this. People are allowed to feel what they want to feel until you start doing things to other people. See, our guy Shadow Praise feels that you shouldn't be watching horror films just to be scared or just to enjoy the movie. You have to be watching it to have a specific opinion about it and to talk about it in a broader sense of far left ideology. Otherwise, you're a fascist like anyone else who disagrees with them about anything at any time. Now, I'm not going to go into his whole video, but I'll tell you that this thing started when he did a review of The Hills Have Eyes, and it was so off the rails that he got a lot of pushback for it. And if you know about the far left, particularly in the culture wars, they're not very good at defending their point of views because their point of views are usually, unhinged. Now, I'm not going to go into the review completely except to say he sides with the cannibals, likening them to Native Americans or Black people being colonized by white people. But you go watch it and, you make up your own mind. But here's the thing. In doing all of this, he decides to go after Wendigoon because Wendigoon is a very much loved creator on the platform who basically stays out of trouble. When he gets in trouble, he goes, he talks about it, he breaks it down, and then he's done with it. There's not like you don't really hear a ton of drama with Wendigoon. The problem is Wendigoon has a lot of edgy friends, and the fact that he's openly Christian leads our boy Shadow to believe that Wendigoon may be, conservative. Crazy kind of conservative. Basically, he's using guilt by association and says that conservatives shouldn't be in horror at all. He's literally gatekeeping horror from a whole group of people. And if you know anything about me, I'm not a fan. Far left gatekeeping of media and hobbies, that shit's getting annoying. And no. It's not getting annoying. It is annoying. It's been annoying. And the shit is tiring.
Far-right figures are often the only ones who hide their harm under a false shield of wanting to seem like they have no strong beliefs at all.
Wendigoon is very open about his beliefs. He's Christian. That's how everybody knows, because he's open about his strong beliefs. And also notice that he tries to make Christianity a bedrock of the alt-right and ultra-conservatism, which a lot of these people do claim that they're Christian, but a lot of them also claim to be culturally Christian, meaning they don't really believe in the religion, but it's part of the culture, so they accept it. But at the same time, I remember when the alt-right first started kind of jumping off here on YouTube, a lot of those guys came out of the atheist community. Anybody remember that? The atheist community that were going head to head with Rebecca Watson and the feminist community and the far left. Yeah, a lot of y'all too young to remember that. I do. I remember when that was happening. And a lot of those people were the first I remember being called alt-right. They were a literal alternative to the right wing, mainly because they weren't religious, and some of them did lean left, but not far left. The thing is, they were using a lot of the same methodology they were using to debunk creationism and things like that. They're using that methodology to debunk far left ideology. At least that's how I remember it. And if you remember differently, please feel free to tell me in the comments.
To seem like they have no strong beliefs at all, because their real views are so socially abhorrent.
Where's any proof of this except for Wendigoon associating with people the far left don't like? I associate with people the far left don't like. I think the far left and far right are both full of shit, and they wouldn't like me either. So if you're far anything, that denotes that you're not the norm.
And the thing that people kept saying to me in all of this was, why do you even care? Which, if you watch the comments under the video, I guarantee you will happen again, with takes like, oh, he's just a YouTuber. Why does it matter? Or, so what if he's a conservative? Is that a problem? Which, the answer to that is yes.
But he doesn't explain why it's a problem, because being conservative is not the same as being far right. And many people on the left are also called conservative because they're not left enough for the far left. And if you seek to keep your channel or your art apolitical, then in his mind, you are conservative.
But the reason that I care is because this does not belong in horror, or anywhere. I care deeply about horror, and everything that he does has demonstrated so far in his career that he should not be welcomed in our spaces, or even, just in public in general.
And this extreme statement is where the genius comes in. If you look at the examples of things that Wendigoon's actually done, it boils down to he's Christian, he's white, he knows edgy YouTubers, and he likes guns. Does this guy know he lives in America? But this is where I think this guy is smarter than anybody is giving him credit for. He goes on to take the very minor things that Wendigoon has done, if you say he's done anything, and uses his association with multiple big name YouTubers, calling them racist, fascist, and even signal boosting a rumor started by Sneako that one of these creators, Brandon Buckingham, may be a predator. And here's the thing, right? Everything that this guy is doing in this video is coming from Sneako's playbook. If you go to my main channel, I did a video called Sneako is Right, technically. And what Sneako was right about was if he acts the way he's acting right now and just does a lot of crazy stuff, puts out a lot of crazy rhetoric, upsets a lot of people, get the anger going, he'll make much more money than making these well thought out, well edited videos and uploading them to YouTube, where he may blow up. But he noticed that people like Hassan Piker can get more views and more money just reacting to his video. And one thing we know about Hassan Piker is he has extreme takes. And this guy is taking a page from that book and he's doing the same thing. There's no way in hell I think that this guy is as stupid as he's portraying. He's almost a parody of the far left. He's coming straight from the Hassan Piker, Sneako, Andrew Tate, whoever it is, he's coming from that playbook. I'm going to have the extreme view. I'm going to make me some money. Now you may think, Nathan, everyone hates him. Well, for now, but everyone also knows who he is. Remember, Keffels has been exposed as a complete villain, and there are people who still love and support her, no matter what she does. She's the Donald Trump of the trans community. Yeah, I said it, and I say it again. If you watch his video, you got to remember, the big issue was that he was not making a lot of money. But when he comes back to YouTube, I bet he'll make much more, even if it's from hate viewers. And there are people who really dislike Wendigoon, mainly because of stuff they just kind of decided about him. And that's a real thing, actually. You can check out this video and see it. It's a whole bunch of people. And from there, he goes into guilt by association with a whole bunch of big name YouTubers who are indeed the most likely to hit back.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator. Wendigoon is publicly connected to the Internet Historian. He is friends with Mutahar. He has collaborated with Nick Crowley, Plagued Moth, Turkey Tom, Mr. Ballin.
And whether it's right or wrong, it's working. If Turkey Tom and Mutahar alone respond, that's millions of people who will now know who this guy is, who didn't know who he was at first. Listen, there's a reason I'm saying all this. Check this out.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator, and even retweeted a photograph of the two of them hugging. Donut Operator is a gun-crazed, very far-right YouTuber with 4 million subscribers, whose career consists of him reviewing footage of police officers shooting and killing people. He was once a cop himself, before he made more money making YouTube videos and retired. His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs propaganda. For example, one of his videos is titled "Predator Takes Shotgun to the Face" and features a picture of him smiling in the corner of the thumbnail next to an image of a terrified man about to be executed by cops, with the text that reads, "Head removal."
Now, the video in question was about a cop that took out a predator that was going after a child. Now, what did our friend Shadow Praise say that this video was indicative of?
His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs. Pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs. Pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs.
I didn't know that being a predator was a belief, but apparently this guy thinks it is. I don't believe he's that stupid. I believe this has to be a troll, and so is this.
People who are centrist, or on the left, do not use the phrasing Antifa members. The only people who say that are the ones that see Antifa as some sort of homogenous radical left-wing activist group.
No, that's just using English properly. If you're on a team, you're a team member. If you're part of a group, you're a group member. And Antifa is a group, meaning if you're part of Antifa, you're an Antifa member. But herein lies my favorite of all of these.
Also, it should be noted that the Boogaloo Boys are known for wearing Hawaiian shirts. And guess who else always has on a Hawaiian shirt, despite the fact that he publicly totally does not share in their beliefs, guys.
But he's also wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Tell me this is not a troll. But after going through all of this, because of the pushback, he deletes the video. Now, someone has re-uploaded it and also uploaded the sections where he's doing the call-outs. So all of that is still on YouTube, and I'll link to it. So at the end of the day, this guy has the problem that many of us have: money. And he found a way to solve that problem through grifting. All he needs to do now is find a group of people who are sympathetic to him and his cause and who will remain with him. And those people will supply the money that he needs probably every month. You guys take it easy. Nathan Brendan Masters. Don't forget, Curse Risen Ultimate Control. It's on Kickstarter right now. If you like sexy bad girls, horror, this is not like what's going on in video games. We are an independent comic book company. We don't take our orders from Sweet Baby Inc. or any of those companies. We don't censor the ladies in the book. We don't censor the action in the book. You get what I say you're going to get, along with a great story. So check it out. Link is in the description. Hasta.